Welcome to Mori episode 46.
Hi guys.
Recently changed the numbers because one didn't add up from like 20 episodes ago or something like that, so we updated all that. But yeah, we got some new news. I'm back from a vacation, and it was pretty good. 2 weeks in nature, basically. Just close by Germany. Go to Aachen with Carol the Great, or would you call him like Alexander the Great, or no? Is that totally somebody else? Yeah, whatever. And lots of beer. Also got a VHS combo, VHS DVD combo. Why did I get that?
Hmm?
Because I
Because?
have a bunch of DVDs that we recorded off VHS to DVD, but we didn't finish the process for them, so they couldn't play on any other DVD player. So I had to um,
Hmm?
find another one. And about 12 years later, I finally got some. So pretty good. And lucky for me, it finally works. Or yeah, well, it finally works. I only have to clean up the VHS part of the thing.
You mean
So
the part that reads the tape?
yeah. That was apparently dirty. So just
Mm-hmm.
spin it around done with a cloth and then it just runs. It ate one tape though, but it didn't matter because that was already recorded years ago, so that was not a big deal. I was lucky. Like normally these things go for like 100 to 400 even. For some reason, the thing is not even that special or like a rare model or anything, but yeah, people just really like to throw money at it. So or to hoard the shit. And I only got it for like 15 euros because I was at a small vinyl store that just had a bunch of them lying around, like DVDs, speakers, whatnot. So yeah, in like a city, small city. So I got lucky there. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with that. So I did a whole bunch of DVDs, finishing the process, and I did one VHS to DVD. One for my dad, like a 3 hour long tape from like what 30 years ago, from 1993 or something like that. Uh, he was with a group that did folk dances, basically, just all around Europe, basically.
So
All
you are
kinds.
going to use this new VHS recorder for everything from now on?
No. There was just a process for those kinds of things because I don't want to break it by over using it over and over and over because this thing is from 2006. So, it's 2006, but still 20 years old. So I don't want to break it all the time.
Amazing that they were still making VHS VCRs in 2006. But I mean, the electronics, the capacitors are probably going to fail at some point. So
Yeah.
I wonder how long will this tech last because my VCR blew up literally. I think I maybe talked about it in a previous episode.
Mm.
I don't know if I have. I was watching The Fellowship of the Ring in VHS on my CRT, and at some point, poof, smokes
Image
started
is
to
gone.
come out from the VCR.
Shit.
The filtering capacitor for the power, the current blew up, and you need to replace it. And this is true for I think much of tech of from that period. And I don't know if yours fits, but I mean,
Mm,
maybe we should start learning how to solder stuff, desolder stuff.
probably, yeah.
If you
Yeah,
want to
probably.
maintain, because even CRTs won't last forever. So unless we
No,
have somebody who can maintain it for us, um, or we learn how to do it ourselves.
yeah. I mean, I had the same thing with my old CRT. One day I was just watching a movie and just, or no, not a movie. What was I watching? Something and it just went poof. Thing got broke. Thing broke, and I had a replacement part, but the replacement part was really expensive, like almost €100. And then they sent me the wrong part. So that was great. So the guy that I sent it to couldn't fix it because it just didn't fit. So I couldn't be bothered anymore just to get a new part, get the money, first my money back, and then order a new one, and then blah blah blah. So I just threw the thing away. Like I couldn't be bothered anymore. But oh well. It's also been a couple of years ago, but you know. But I also have an other VHS player, so there's no big uh, problem or anything. So, and I got DVD players, multiple now. But the biggest thing is all DVDs that were not finalized on the machine playing on every player that we have, and we got to save one tape. So, you know, I'm not too unhappy about it. So, got all that all gone on vacation, or well, from the vacation. Didn't expect that. And other things, we got new Despera news, the spiritual successor to Lane. Apparently, with Despera, we got a new thing that they're gonna make the anime in 2027.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, let me get the what's the Twitter again for Despera? Despera update? The
Wait, so this is how many of the original people involved are in it? So is it? Yeah,
yeah,
I
like
haven't.
a couple. Let me see. Despera status. Yeah, that's it.
All right, I wonder if
Um,
it'll yeah, I wonder if it will actually continue anything, or if it will be like a totally new thing with I guess the same team, and I guess is uh maybe is even more interesting now, or like it's just like a different thing, because I mean, like, look at
yeah,
how I wouldn't go so far as to say,
it's been like
I wouldn't
18,
exactly say,
16 years in the works at this point, or trying to get it into works.
but at the time of Lane, they was talking about VR, and like now they have it. Now everybody have it. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have it. So,
Yeah. Tried it in the 90s, didn't really work, and nowadays it's like all over.
but I wonder
But
if
yeah,
they will how will they make it crazier? Because the stuff that I was talking about in Lane might be a lot more commonplace now. Like computers everywhere
mm,
and everything. So
yeah.
how are they gonna up the ante? Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're gonna. I don't know how much Despera is like going to be with technology or like some alternate version of the future or something like that. Maybe less like Lane trying to look in the direct future, what could happen with it. I mean, it's a spiritual successor. Like the most I'm worried about with Despera is like, are they keeping the original material for the correct, the original character design for it? Because that looks like the time from Lane. Because later on, the guy just his style just went more rough, just more scribble lines than just the smooth stuff that we were used to. Because he just couldn't really do it anymore. He said himself. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be looking the same or like I don't know. maybe it's gonna be a complete flop and nobody's gonna care about it, or it really works. Who knows? Let's hope it actually
Oh,
works for us. We're just
now this email here. This is the original writer of it.
yeah,
Okay,
Chicky
because
J. Yeah.
when you mentioned the style, um, the artist is somebody else, right? The artist, the character designer is not him.
No, it's like originally for like 16 years ago, character designer for Despera was what's his name again? Christ, why I'm not remembering.
It's not Murata. No, that's somebody else. No.
Lane. Let me see real
But
quick.
you're saying that the work of the original character designer is different now.
No, his style has slightly changed. He can do his smooth style that he did back in the day. That's the problem with it. Let me see.
Well, I mean, it might be interesting, like if it's scratchier, it might work with the way the show is going. I mean, if you remember, the original was pretty experimental too. Like there were all
Yeah,
these
yeah,
shadows,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
red stuff. So maybe to surprise people, it would be good to be experimental again. So while it will be interesting. Like everybody is going towards looking more clean and more digital. It will be funny if to look different now, you have to be more handmade. Like and I think that Blame is kind of like that. It's so rough, but it's a far future technological world, but it's shown as being scratchy and rough and gritty. So maybe that will be the world of this new. Oh, they sent
Yeah.
me the whole mistake.
Yeah, it's Abe. Yeah. No, it's probably still gonna be Abe, but like he said in the interview that just his style just changed over time. It just gets more rough. But I don't know. Like I saw like a later show of his, of like a trailer and multiple trailers of it, but it just kind of flopped the series. It wasn't really as strong as like his older stuff, but that's
What
just
was
he's
it?
a character designer, not a writer, so that can go both ways, honestly. But
What was the flop that I mentioned?
yeah, well, maybe it's on his wiki, so should be thing. Let me guess. Housing complex C. Is this right? Oh yeah, rewrite D. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, was more a newer style. What is
Oh,
Let me.
what was the premise of that? Let me see.
What was the plot? After 10 years in stasis, a robotics engineer awakens in a war-torn world to fight for his life against machines that he and his father had a hand in creating.
Nice. A real feel good
Yeah,
show. I wonder if it has Savage as and I haven't even watched it out as Technolize, because that was pretty brutal, I couldn't
yeah, no, it's nothing like that. It's way more lighter than Technolize,
yeah,
so
I like that it's so much lighter, but the premise is well, you awaken in the apocalypse, and you had a well, I guess he stops the apocalypse, or maybe not. Maybe he just witnesses the apocalypse and dies at the end, After yeah, I need to like there's a couple of shows I didn't watch because I wasn't in the right space at the time, Like there was oh yeah, Elfin Light is actually pretty messed up, I couldn't watch it out at the time. I didn't want to watch
mm,
it out at the time, yeah, it's like oh yeah,
yeah,
like there was that, there's like imagine every episode has something as traumatic as um, that one Full Metal Alchemist meme, uh So every episode is that all the way through. You know, a show like that. Imagine that. You know, and they just one up in itself with disturbing content. You know. Oh, but this actually kind of reminds me of maybe I mentioned it. There's Cowboy Bebop create a new show. It's coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah. That's out right now. Yeah, but I heard it was good so far, so I'm probably gonna watch it. Like in the near future, but you know.
You're waiting for all the episodes to come out, or?
I think it was weekly. Like I saw on episode 3 and episode 4 or something like that. So I think it's about weekly at this point. Or how many episodes were there? Like
right?
13
Yeah, no,
episodes.
It is weekly, but what I'm asking is, are you waiting for all the episodes to be out?
No. I just try whenever. It's not really a thing or something like that. So you know.
I know a lot of people, they have to do that. They can't wait weekly anymore. You know.
Yeah. Shorter attention spans, and you get that kind of stuff.
But then on the other hand, you need to have a certain amount of strength to not watch the shows that already, you know, that coming out weekly. You need to withhold, you know, which I can do. I have to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, with TV back in the day, you literally had to watch weekly because, you know, you couldn't just rewind TV or just go to a streaming site or something because that just didn't exist. So,
well,
you know, people are just not used to that anymore.
Some people used to record stuff and watch them all at once, you know, like, which is kind of crazy to think about. So that means, you know, you're recording this stuff. I guess you had a hope that I did everything right, because imagine at the end you're going to look at them and they screwed something up, you know. Oh, I said it half hour wrong every day. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Or just the program was just cancelled or something like that, or just breaking news, and your half your series is just gone with breaking news stuff, right? Or some other dumb program that it's captured. You know, you're just gonna be really on there to know for sure that something was.
I remember during I think it's like, you know, certain huge world events like during 9/11 I think already the scheduled programming was rescheduled for like a lot of times, you know, like, here's a crazy thing, you know, we're gonna be playing this over and over for the next 3 days, or several years maybe.
Yeah.
All right, that looks interesting, but it really does remind me of Lazarus, like the future city.
Yeah. It's less of an apocalypse this time around, so it's not as weird or stupid.
I was also started to watch but I forgot everything that's been going on. It's Wolf's Rain, another post-apocalyptic show. I think I didn't. A lot of times, you know, a lot of things seem to get kind of surreal and strange. I don't know if you ever experience that in a lot of media, and it's hard to follow.
Some anime can go really all out on the, you know, strange explanations, or just visually just being just, you know, you go into another realm or something like that, and it just gets stranger and stranger and stranger, and you just have no fucking clue anymore what is what, how is how, and it just, you know, fucks up. Like with the Ava movies, for instance.
I think it's even worse in manga, because comics as a medium on a whole is a little more dreamlike, right? So and a lot of stuff in comics is like abstract almost, in a way, because imagine comics flow so easily from this is really happening, this is in the mind of the guy, this is how he's imagining this scene, you know what I mean? So like in a
Mhm.
comic, I feel like it's even harder, and I have like a hard time following a lot of comics like that. You know, like I tried to.
No, just art
I've been
style.
having.
Okay.
You ever looked at I think we mentioned Fool's Night before.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I don't know if you checked out that, but it seems interesting. But there's a point where it starts to get so complicated. I kind of having a hard time following it. There was that. There's a comic about there's a comic about Lovecraftian gods and stuff. A manga, I should say.
Oh.
The Call of Cthulhu made by Go Tanabe, perhaps.
No, not that. But that is good too. That one is a lot easier to understand.
Or the
I
one
don't know
that's just a kind of a Cthulhu creature inhabiting a body of somebody and just has to fight other Cthulhu creatures.
I think so. It's something with God. Is God in the name of the God in
Yeah.
the name of the book?
Nothing really pops up, but
Just now.
oh well. Last week I saw
After
Fist of the
God.
North Star in the cinema. It was pretty damn good. It's like a 95% remaster of it. So some scenes were like a bit more low res. They couldn't really find original scenes, but I don't know, pretty good stuff. I did hold out on it to see it in the cinema one day if they're gonna do it, and they did. So I was pretty damn happy.
You watched the anime, not the one with who is that? It looks like Chuck Norris.
No, not the live action. Also fun, but also really stupid. But no, I watched the anime from the 80s, from '68.
Nice.
I watched
Oh,
that
nice. I watched that on VHS back in the day.
one. Mm.
What I
Yeah.
like is that so even they didn't preserve the film properly. Like they're missing some scenes in
Well,
high
the
quality.
DVD, the original cinematic, when originally was out in Japan in cinema, it had a shorter ending, and when it came out on VHS, it got a longer ending and like an alt ending, well, a bit of an alt ending, and that one has never been on the big screen. So I've seen that one. I've seen the longer version of the ending. So that's
Okay,
nice.
so
Also, there's apparently maybe a version out there that has the gore in it and not stuff censored out with like weird psychedelic visuals, but nobody really has come forward with it yet. So, you know.
is so the longer ending is the one that they don't have in high quality. Is that the scenes that you're talking about? They don't have it in high
Yeah,
quality.
that's also high quality. Well, the 95% is remastered. That's like a remaster that was done this year. In fact, they said in the beginning of the movie. So, that's I don't know. That was not seen. He said it was not seen in Europe on the big cinema yet. So, it's a nice add to it, really. I'm like, it could be better, but well, it could be better. Like, you need to try to find the rest of the stuff, but what can you do about it?
Right. I guess even I wonder if it was even well it had to have been recorded on film at some point. I'm talking about the additional ending. So they can't
Well,
find the
yeah, on
original.
VHS it was, yeah, it was purely made for the VHS market, but I guess they found original sport and could remaster it.
Except for one
But yeah,
scene, as in, or a small amount of scenes.
yeah, but the majority of the scenes, so like with the gore, with like a head exploding, etc., etc., that was in lower quality majority of the time.
Oh
Don't
shit!
know why exactly, but
But right, because those are the ones that so the censorship was the uncensored version ever available to anyone,
no,
or is it
not
lost?
really. No, people just kind of rumors about this country has one, or this country has one, or maybe Italy, or maybe France has one, but yeah, it just didn't really get to that point anyway. Maybe there just doesn't exist one. It's just a rumor at this point.
Maybe it would be funny if like the creator made that rumor so that they'll hopefully hire him to make it one day.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a pretty
there's a
popular manga at that point already. So I'm like, I don't know why go even harder with it if it's already that popular. There's no real
so
point in it. But who
so
knows?
tell me about this movie now. So this is there also a Fist of the North Star series?
Yeah, a TV series. Actually, multiple TV series. Like the first one was from the 70s. It's like a good 80 episodes or something like that. It had
Oh,
lots of filler up till with Shin when he goes up against him, and then etc. And then later on, and with this movie, it's more compact and a lot of characters are also missing. But I haven't read the whole manga. But basically, you just the guy loses his girl and then gets to and then is thrown down a ravine, and then he has to revenge and get his girl back from Shin. Well, he tries to
right.
get to all these foes, trying to get to his girl, gets to his girl, but and then gets to Shin, tries to defeat him, and then Raoul gets in the scene. It's like it's more the end boss of the movie, basically, which is also an overpowered character and just more shenanigans. It's pretty nice fighting actually, but can be spoiling everything. But well, it's
Right.
almost like a 40-year-old spoiler at
So
this point. But you get my point.
so so this movie is a compression of the 80 episodes with better animation.
The manga basically, like the movie is majority more a more compact version of the series, but way better. Don't bother with the series basically because it gets a lot of for a sport of filler. Like the majority of the show is just filler, so it's not really a real point to do it. Later, we got like in the early 2000s and 90s, we got a series. That was also a bit different, and a new series has been in the works since like was it last year, or the year before that. We got advertisements for that, so you know, I'm probably
Okay.
maybe gonna watch that one just to refresh myself and not and get out of the 70s version of that because then everything gets a bit more updated and not so much filler. I hope so.
This is a new series w- that is
A new
coming out or is
yeah,
already,
yeah, and just the real whole series just done again, basically.
but without the filler because at that point
Yeah,
the
yeah.
comic
I
would have
mean,
been finished.
I hope they're not gonna do like 50% filler because what's the point? You can just watch the original or something like that. What's the difference?
Oh,
Like,
sorry, I might be misunderstanding. This is an upcoming series. This is a
hmm?
the series I'm talking about. This is an upcoming series. It hasn't come out
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A new adaptation of the manga.
Okay, but is it going to be a hand drawn or is it going to be CG?
Well, let me look.
Because that is, I always gotta ask that. That is the important thing.
mm,
I hope it's. I certainly hope it's hand drawn.
yeah, who knows? Let me see. New series. Uh, yeah, here. New Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken, anime announcer 40th anniversary. Yeah, here's a screenshot of the beginning. or like I mean like a poster. I don't know, looks pretty 2D to me. So
Okay,
so
knock on
far,
wood.
or
Knock on wood.
3D looks 3D. But looks 2D, but is 3D. But who knows?
Yeah,
Oh
you know
yeah,
I have a lot of. I just saying, you know, I have a lot of PTSD with Berserk. You understand? So
I mean, you know, it's not everything is gonna be berserk. Eventually, it's like it's like
but what's weird is that like Berserk is a huge and important property, and they still did that thing, you know. And Fist of the North Star is also a huge and important property. So I'm forever worried
can happen
about
to
it.
anything, I guess.
Yeah.
It's too
'Cause like
detailed, or people just mismanage stuff too much, and just goes under really fast.
yeah, I mean, like I don't really feel like detail is necessarily the whole story, you know. Like I mean, we've seen people draw crazy things, you know. We've always seen it. We're gonna continue to see it. But it's like I think that studio just wanted the property, even though they probably knew that it weren't a good fit for it. That's just my theory. The But did they actually see them? Did they ever watch the like when they made Berserk? They came out after with a home version of it, and they apparently fixed a few things. Did they ever see that?
Oh
Or is it
yeah, with the
still, or
Blu-ray, they fixed some scenes, but it still looks pretty fucked. Obviously, they can only fix so much of it, or just redo the whole series. But they don't have that kind of money anymore. So
right? All right. That reminds me of the recent Junji Ito fiasco. I think you remember that.
yeah. This new series of Uzumaki, but a lot of it was not great animation wise. So
Right.
it just kind of flopped.
But
Only episode 1 really worked because people make decisions, and there was like a deleted blue birds, or like blue alternate Twitter tweet alternate Twitter site, deleted tweets for that. Just a post from the original creator that was later on deleted, basically.
oh shit, what did he say?
Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
Let me look up
I
that.
didn't think he would have comment. I didn't think he would have comment. I thought he'd just be like, "Look, I get my money. That's all I care about. You do what you want." You know.
Anime blue sky. Let me see if I can find it.
You're saying this is a post by Junji Ito, right?
No, not by Junji Ito. I mean the maker of the anime.
Ah, okay. I'm sure he had something constructive to say about the people that were.
Yeah. Let me see. Can I find it even?
But yeah, those stresses, if you can't find it, those stresses it's just kind of interesting. Because I remember that he said something along the lines of, by way of explanation, that the company that they hired screwed them, You know, so it was either just release something or release nothing. So he said we chose to release something. You know.
Yeah. That was in that small post. Yeah. Um,
You know, but like I don't understand how companies keep on doing this. Hiring anime studios that do that do
no,
that.
here it is. Despite we knew this would happen, I can't talk about what went down, but we were screwed over by and the options were A, not finish and air
Right.
nothing at all, and call the loss. B, just finish an air episode 1 and leave it incomplete, or C, run all 4, words and all. Out of respect for the hard work, we chose C. After waiting so long, it makes sense people would be mad. Unfortunately, I can't tell them who blame it to blame it on, but someone is definitely at fault here, and we all just had to do our best when things imploded. Many others would have made different choices. We did the best we could with what we had. But again, a lot of people worked very hard on this show and didn't think the actions of one or two people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. Maybe that's the wrong choice. I truly don't know. But people have a right to be annoyed and disappointed. I'm glad you're digging it. So yeah, that was the
Right. That is the post that I remember. I don't know if I read it on his Twitter, but I definitely read it before.
well. There's on
You
Blue
know.
Sky. There was a deleted post on Blue
Right,
Sky,
right.
and there's never on.
Blue
With
Sky, the new Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I
Bingo.
keep on saying that. I keep on saying that. You know. I don't know if it I'm not sure if it took off or what.
Yeah, well, it got pretty popular, all right. Like a lot of people migrated to it, or just did both, or but not that much for me to find because I'm more interested in more obscure stuff, and it's not on there. So sometimes you go there for artwork, but beyond that, not that much else. EA is not even on it, so like, eh. Not that he posts anything. So why would he have Blue Sky if he doesn't post anything?
Right. It's weird that like Twitter is not even really like an image sharing platform, but a lot of artists seem to post exclusively there. So that is why I'm still on it. You know, like you see a lot
Yeah,
of great
because
artists.
the terms of service are better, it's less toxic. But I don't know. In my opinion, it's just you know, it's just a matter of time before it just goes down the same because it's the internet. You're always getting those people.
Twitter or Blue Sky?
Hmm?
Twitter or Blue Sky? You're talking about going down. You mean like is
Yeah.
it bad?
Oh well, like for any social media site, any site just can go, haywire with people that just go nuts about something or just be racist, etc., etc., etc. How it goes.
You know, it's a endless cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Other
what
new
have you guys
news.
been? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Minecraft movie has been out for like 2-3 weeks or something like that. It's also been pretty damn popular.
Do we
Yeah,
really
like
need a Minecraft movie?
yeah, it's
I didn't watch it, but it's a news topic.
like people. If people greenlighting movies, I think they literally just look at the income of properties, and if it's high enough, they say, well, it's obvious that a movie has to be made about this, either the income or the popularity. So, and then sometimes they do weird stuff to seemingly to reinvigorate properties. Like didn't they make a battleship movie? You know, like it's
Battleship
weird.
movie?
Yeah, Battleship. Like there's a whole game called Battleship, and they
Oh,
made a movie.
no clue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it says something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know with this stuff that people just, you know, especially 13-year-olds or 10-year-olds. So like when certain season comes up, then just throw popcorn at the walls and just explode in rage and whatnot, and just made a complete mess of the cinema. So that's the thing. I don't know.
Wait,
Obviously, it's a really
what
stupid movie, but
why are they so they were coordinating to do this, or did the movie tell them to do this? How what?
no,
'Cause I
no,
saw
no.
something.
There's just 13-year-olds just see certain scenes and are like, go nuts. And obviously, it became also a meme because multiple cinemas had this problem. Because cinemas don't like it. It's just to throw shit at the wall and just people have to clean it up. That's just like, gotta go fast to the next screening of another movie and you have to clean all that
Right.
shit up. So, like,
Now, in their defense, the price of concessions is so much that it's so overpriced that you know what, you can do what you want with it because the cinema is
just throw
charging
shit at the wall.
Yeah, you know.
Just shit in the corner and just smear it on the wall, smear it on each other. Go nuts.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know,
I ain't
man.
saying all of that. I ain't saying that. You didn't get that crap at the concession stand, But yeah, like so basically, to throw popcorn at the wall is like throwing $50 at the wall. It's like a $50 bucket of popcorn, that kind of shit. So
Yeah,
it's crazy.
this thing with chicken jockey, like everybody goes nuts about it. And apparently, oh yeah, with apparently with 4chan, that was like the last post supposedly that went up, and the site is still down.
4chan is back, actually. Now
Really?
it's back.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
That's-
back.
Oh shit!
That's what I want to know.
Since
That's
yesterday.
what I thought.
Oh shit!
Look, you can't keep it down. Nobody can keep it down. Nobody can stop them.
The internet can't be keeping down.
They took a break.
They took a break, just
And
a
now
.gov break or something.
A little timeout. A little timeout.
Yeah, just getting themselves doxed with like their dumb emails strapped to their universities or personal emails or kind of stupid shit. They didn't really do anything in places of security or anything.
To be fair, I wonder why even attempting to hack 4chan in the first place. I mean, 4chan is 4chan. You won't get much out of hacking it, apart from maybe satisfaction or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people do a lot of things for clout. Maybe that is it. I don't know. But what I do think is funny, and maybe this was part of the reason, maybe they wanted to see who had all of this. Who were these people? Because a lot of people think that a lot of people on here.
Oh,
are
Wojciech
FBI
group or something like that.
There are a bunch of anons, and that's all. I mean, who cares about who they are in real life? Care
wasn't
about
there,
what you see, because we can get. I mean, on YouTube, the stream could.
Yeah, I
could
think
be
I
at
don't
risk.
know if you could show this. You might just get cut off. I don't know what you could show. Just showing in fact, I'm surprised just by going to 4chan they didn't cut the stream already. Just by
I mean, it's just your usual anime shenanigans. So I'm not really surprised that YouTube doesn't care. They're probably also into that stuff. But hey, I don't know
But
what you watch more. What's better, the Minecraft movie or post on 4chan?
person of origin, what is that?
Hmm?
What it is it? Minecraft or what?
The Minecraft movie or 4chan?
4chan. Oh, okay. 4chan. I don't know who Minecraft is for.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no, that screenshot was also from an hentai that turned into an anime. For some reason, I have a lot of projects that turn into anime for some weird reason. I don't know. Some of these projects just don't work at all.
Wait, so you mean it was a manga and it made into a series? Is it?
No, it wasn't hentai. They turned into an anime.
So wait, there was an animated hentai before, and then they make it into
No. They
uh,
made a
uh,
doujinshi, an hentai doujinshi, and then that became into an anime, an actual normal-esque anime, without the sex, obviously. That's the whole thing, basically. Like I don't
well,
know,
you know
just
what? A
You
lot of
are
people
removing the best part from the whole thing and have just a mediocre
well, I
story,
mean, you know,
or not.
I think some people
I don't
like
know. It got elves in it, so I'm not complaining.
but in some cases like where I think somebody just wanted to make a good project, but the only way they could get funding was to make it
Well,
a hentai.
good as far as I
So,
can get be good. So like, no,
you
it's just
know,
horny elves or just some horny dude that wants to bang some horny elf, and then you're like, yeah, sure, that works. It's like there's so many anime out there that are like that. So yeah, that's not that
yeah,
special at all.
you describe like 10% of the GDP of Japan there probably, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, it's a wild world. If you walk into Akihabara, it's like all the way like that. It's just billboards with giant tits on it, anime stores with, eh, juicy artworks, or just whole sections of hentai. It's wild, kind of. It's kind of wild, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if it's making money, that is why they're doing it, you know. So
Yeah,
I guess
sure. But and Japan can be a bit too horny at times. So
but wait. And some people say that they also, you know, don't always show emotion. So that it's like they're at both extremes. You know, they're reserved, yet there's that place you're talking about, you know. So it's kind of interesting. There are two ends of the extremes, if you understand what I'm saying.
yeah,
You know, and yet they also invented karaoke, right? So like
yeah. Eventually, yeah, they were good back in the day, like in the 90s. I mean, in the 80s, they had their whole bubble going on, and then just burst, and it went to the depths, basically.
that's kind of interesting though. Like it's interesting that they break loose in certain contained ways, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah. As long as you're looking at stuff like this, I heard that somebody was saying they discovered a new color or some kind of weird thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Color? Oh, I only heard
Yeah.
of a new planet that they discovered, kind of similar to Earth, but then bigger this time around.
So super Earth.
Yeah. Oh, that's not the right thing. This is from 2006. It's not the right thing. God damn it.
Yeah. They
Yeah, that's probably it.
but like you know,
New planet
I think
named
that
Interest.
they have a loose definition of the term similar. You know. Oh yeah, it's similar, except the air is cyanide or some kind of weird thing, you know. Oh yeah, it's exactly like Earth, except you know.
Here, Kepler 452b, sometimes quoted to be Earth 2.0. Earth's cousins based on its characteristics. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah,
All right,
Discovery
now
alerts. A super
when they
Earth
call
inhabitable zone.
something the habitable zone, do they mean habitable for actual humans or what they think would be conducive to life?
Well, we are in the green zone, so not too hot, not too cold, and not too warm. If you were too close to the sun, you would just bake, and the Earth would be fucked. If we're too out, then we'd just be by like Mars, and too cold, and just
Right.
fucked. And here we
Well,
are,
like
just in the right place. It's like a plant. Too close to the sun, it would just burst into flames. But in Antarctica, it would just die of cold. It's kind of like that.
right now, what you see, but you see what I'm saying. Like sometimes when they're searching for life or anything like that, they start with planets. They think only about planets that are similar to Earth, but there could be a form of life that is like totally different. You know, like not
Yeah, of
dependent on
course. Or in
anything that.
earlier states, later states, or like it's just plant life based, or just microbes, or like it's like you just need to have the right amount of stuff going on, like
But
meteorites just crashing down on planets with water in them, and then just kickstarts it all and just goes on. You don't know in what stage it is right now. Probably not the Stone Age or anything like that, but maybe microbes, or maybe the seas are just swarming with life, because that's how we started. So that's a big
yeah,
thing.
I'd like for them to but yeah, I do think it's kind of stifles people's imagination. There could be a form of life that is nothing, like people always talk about water. Water is so important. No, well, it's important here. Maybe it's poison on another planet. You know, uh, I mean, they think about it because I think it's a good solvent and it can have a lot of chemistry going on in it. I think that is why. But surely there's
Mhm.
other things. There could be a planet where the seas are made of like rum or something, and there's rum
I
life.
mean, there are systems out there with gas that's just like made of alcohol or diamonds or other sort of materials, and how we could mine it, which is like,
Right.
if we would like mine or get all that stuff, it would just be worthless because it's so much more than we have on Earth. So it would be completely worthless.
Well, it would only have its industrial application. So everybody could have diamond knives forever. They'll be putting them on infomercials and shit. Meteor
Yeah, yeah, it
diamond
would
knife.
just be
This
the new
knife never
glass,
needs
basically.
sharp.
Everybody, their own window room will be diamond or something like that.
That'll be sick actually. No, I want them to do it.
I mean, it would be
Also,
really strong. I don't know if it holds out bullets, but it's pretty strong. I mean, how thick would you make just a big chunk, or just a big window of diamond just to stop a bullet? I'm like, how thick would that need to be to really stop something?
yeah, I'm not sure because it's hard, but it might be brittle. Like glass. Glass is hard, but it might be but it's
Yeah,
brittle. You know.
it can chip off, but I don't know if it's like direct impact, it can
Oh no, wait, but
maybe stop it.
if we
But
have if we have so much diamonds though, we'll just make diamond bullets. If we're making a whole pane
yeah,
of glass outside,
I mean, could be, I don't know. But where do you put the power, the powder into the bullet to actually fire it? Because
Well, we could form it in any way we want. We have so much. We
or
have a
maybe the
diamond
tip
drill.
just diamond and not the whole thing. Yeah, that would make more sense. Or else it would just explode on itself. Well, probably not. Or maybe get stuck somewhere. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I'm not a bullets guy, so I don't know if it would actually work that well.
Yeah, you see, we could tell nobody in this stream is from America, because
No,
they would
no, no.
they would just come in and be. Actually, it would be very simple. All we'd have to do is and then go on about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Act-
yeah, yeah, yeah. But not Joe Rogan or something like that. We're not go hunting deer or just hold them into hold them in a thumb lock or something like that and just choke them out or some stuff, stupid shit like that.
Oh, you know what? The real test would be to hunt a deer with your bare hand.
Yeah,
Bare hand, deer hunting. That should be
just
a thing.
oh
Listen,
no.
if it could do that, that is really something. If it could shoot it at 300 yards, that's an accomplishment too. But getting in there,
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be
I
something
get
too.
well back in the day, like really, really long time ago, Stone Age times. We could literally just certain humans could just literally outrun animals, just make them tired, they fall on the ground, and just kill them that way, just by running. We just were that good at that. Not even tools; it
Yeah,
was
no,
just running.
yeah, no. I get tired looking at the documentaries about it. So like a former, we've evolved in some ways and de-evolved in some other ways. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess more
You
lazy
know,
and more with our brains, well, in some capacity. But that's a whole different
yeah, but
can of worms altogether.
But to bring it back to this planetary talk, instead of looking for planets with water and shit, they should be looking for that planet with the seas of rum. They need to find a rum-based life, right? There's
I mean, yeah, but
wide
I don't
forests.
think you find a planet, more like a gas, for instance, or like a
No, no,
cluster, certain
it
gases
would
that
just be
forms.
alcohol. It would just be alcohol, a sea of alcohol.
Oh, that
that'll be
way. Yeah.
that'll be
I don't know.
that'll be sick, you know.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, but would it work on a planet? I don't know. Yeah, sure. Obviously, in a fancy, dumb anything can happen, but
you just need a I think you just need a solvent. I think people theorize all kinds of life. You know, life even made of different kinds of matter. People, there's a book about life on a neutron star. You know, so this is like, and time is different for them. So the people looking at them will see an entire civilization rise and fall
yeah, because
within a few hours. You know, because of the gravity. You know, so like that is like an interesting form of life that, you know, they're not even looking for. Well, I mean, you have to narrow it down as to where you're looking. So I understand why they look for certain things. They say, well, we know for sure life could happen in a planet of water, so we look for that, you know, and we narrow it down because there's just so much. You can't look at everything, you know, at least not yet. So I understand why, but you know, like, yeah, what if one day they're searching and they see some kind of weird mega structure that's clearly not made by nature, you know? That would be interesting. We wouldn't, and we would. The messed up thing though is that we would never know the true origin of it because it would be so infinitely
no,
far.
if nobody
Right?
left anything, that would just be a terraformed planet, and you know, or there needs to be some evidence of original plant-based materials in fossils or something like that. That plant look different, and then you look in recent locations, and the planet changed too quick to be an evolutionary thing. Then probably you could find that's been terraformed by some life form and not just naturally, because there's a certain rate of how shit changes, obviously.
Well, no,
And
hold
just
on. I don't necessarily think that might be the case. Evolution might occur differently in different places. Like like the same thing with the neutron star. Like from our point of view, evolution would be happening very fast, right?
yeah.
So that is a case like where evolution is happening extremely fast. So it would be able to adapt to change. You know, like I mean, like I read so much science fiction that people come up with ideas as like, look, I can't even understand the story that's being written here because the life is so different. I can't relate to anything that's happening. You know, like I was reading this book where there's like 2 dimensions at time and all kind of weird shit like that. You know, like how do you even understand that? You know, but like just giving an example as to how different life could probably be. I read this story where the life on the planet was like it's similar to Earth's computers. So there were natural logic gates that formed in the core of the planet, and so consciousness was able to come about from a totally different kind of matter. I mean, like, you know, in chemistry they talk about organic chemistry. So this is organic chemistry too, but it's like totally different chemicals. You know, it's like, I don't know, lead and other stuff, you know, but things that you wouldn't think would give rise to life, but because that is what was present on the planet, you know. To paraphrase, life finds a way. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, you know. Yeah, imagine that, like life. So yeah, so this could be the backstory for the Transformers, you know. Oh, so this is how they came about then. This is how organic robots came about, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and on that planet, water was a poison because, you know, you pour water on a computer, you know, it doesn't go too good. So they were actually in the core of the planet, and when they were drilling up to explore, they actually found a sea. So it totally destroyed the first adventurers, I think. You know, it's really it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's realistic, but I mean it's like an interesting way to look at things in a totally different way. You know,
I mean, yeah. I mean, the biggest borehole on Earth was like in Russia, in like what was it, 70s, 80s, and they only got like not even halfway through the whole thing, through the mantle, through the inner like below the mantle, so like below the crust. I mean,
right. So just imagine, God, imagine. Yeah, it'll be so interesting if there's life in molten magma. You know, it sounds insane, but thinking about stuff
Yeah, I mean,
different kinds of life.
I mean, there are like we had like on the outside of spaceships that we had like these Arctic microbes or like animals, you could say, that just survived in space and went down to Earth and just still were alive. Like it is possible. This stuff can live out in space, so why not that? But
Right.
we haven't found it yet so
So it's
far.
interesting to
Maybe
ask
guess we
question.
can really get to it. But
Imagine this then. What was the reason that life evolved to be so hardy? It might have been alive because the conditions that they experienced and survived were not the conditions I would think of were possible anywhere on Earth, right? There's no part of Earth that's a vacuum, that's the vacuum of space. You know, there's no part of Earth on Earth's surface that's like that's so hot. Like why are you talking about the tardigrades? I know that they are like one of the hardy creatures. Or you're talking about a bacteria. I'm not sure what you're talking, but I know that there's a lot of extremophiles there. Creatures that organisms that could withstand all kind of temperatures, all kind of conditions, the vacuum of space, radiation, you know. So like maybe they were around longer than we thought. Like maybe that creature was around when Earth was still a molten mass, you know, and that's why it have the evolution to withstand it, you know.
yeah,
It's so I like the arrogance of these scientists. The planet shouldn't be there, you know. It shouldn't be there. We say it shouldn't be there, you know. According to our models, this planet doesn't exist, you know. It's funny.
yeah, yes, it should be like that. Kind of basically, there's also another anime that's also like on planetary stuff. See on the movements of the Earth. Been on like episode 4 now. That's pretty good so far.
Oh yeah,
That
but
one I would like to watch it one day.
yeah, but it has it's totally grounded, right? There's no fantastical elements on it, right?
No.
Okay.
It's not like monster kind of type of levels of serious all the time, but it's pretty good so far. It's like it tries to explain how they think from their perspective and like why are the stars not moving in the way that we think they are? Because the Earth is in the middle of the center of the universe. So why is stuff not adding up? But the church doesn't want to know about it and just want to keeps to the Bible. And anybody who says different goes burning or goes be tortured to
Yeah,
all
you
the
know what?
ends of the earth. So that's
I'm
all.
gonna report you for this kind of wrong thing. I don't like it. You, you're also gonna be burned, you know. Enjoy, and it'll be good practice for the hell like going to right after too. It's convenient, you know. Burning. That's why burning heretics is actually a good thing. It's practice. You're really helping them, you know. So,
I mean,
but that I know was interesting. That is a premise that I would have never think would have made a good anime. That is another thing. Like I would have
yeah,
said,
it's also more like an how would you more a generation story, or more like it goes on main character to main character to main character. It just kind of shifts because it's not a theory that's just made in like a few years and just get people down for it to work. So yeah, it's like it's also kind of surprising. Some plot twist you never really expected. Like, oh, people gonna live longer, live shorter. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Also, another anime of about what was it, running or something like that, running a marathon. Also by the same creator is also being launched into an anime. So I don't know, the creators are really getting off the ground.
yeah, that is another thing I would have. So wait. The whole manga is about a race, or is also preparing for the race.
Well, the anime is being finished. I don't know if the manga has finished yet. Can look that up. The manga has finished. Oh, so 2022. So no, it finished apparently the manga. The manga
Okay,
is
but
8 volumes long. Anime is 25 episodes long.
so wait, is not one race, or is it like is it a manga that follows one race,
Race? No, it just
one marathon?
follows a couple of main characters just follow each other up, basically.
You say it's about a marathon?
Yeah, there was. Oh, there you mean? Oh no, that's another anime that's also been made into a movie, basically. Maybe you can find it.
Okay, so that one is about one marathon, one race.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, you see, that's a premise I would have never imagined. I would have never guessed that. You know?
Yeah, it's diverse, I guess. Like, apparently influences as artistic stuff. You had Parasite, Ping Pong, Instrumental Loan Shark, Gaji, Ajin, even Death Note. It's like, I don't know. That's some interesting
Wait.
influences. Makes sense, but
Oh, okay. You mean it was influenced by those things?
yeah.
Okay,
You didn't
okay.
work on them.
What I thought it meant was um he influenced them. So like I was wondering, wait, so you're saying it's older? No, but I don't understand what you're saying. All right. You know what?
Oh yeah, 100 meters is that other story. Yeah, it
I
is
know
the
what
one.
I know what surely the Death Note influence is how Light used to always talk to himself dramatically while in a room or
Mind
doing homework or
levels.
some shit. I am the new god while eating like a potato chip or something. So this guy is gonna be talking like that while running, going up a hill or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. And it just trips midway or something and then his coach is just screaming at the top of
Oh,
his lungs. Yeah, you should pay attention to running. Stop daydreaming, you fucking idiot.
that would be
So
great
I
though.
don't know,
That would be
turn
great.
into a
Like,
bit of a comedy.
no, wait, hold on. The whole trip, like when he's tripping, that is a whole episode. The trip, just the thoughts in his head while he's tripping. That would be a good episode. Not a lot of drawing.
Just a
Not
whole
a drawing.
monologue where the fucker's just tripping, falls flat on
Yeah.
his face, end of episode. I mean,
And so but
that's
the
not a lot
but
of animation then. It's just talking then.
yeah. Look, we need every show need episodes where there's not a lot is happening, right? And it's not even going to be a talking head, right? Because it's all going to be happening internally. So we don't even have to draw his mouth moving, right?
Cheapest
It's
anime
just
ever
talk.
made then, I guess.
Yeah. And we just like slowly moving the still drawing of him getting closer to the ground. And he's talking. Look, it's not cheap, it's avant-garde, all right?
Sure,
It's like,
for a short or like some, that works. Or an
yeah,
university
like that.
student. Yeah, there's many animes like that.
The last episodes of Evangelion, is
Oh
avant-garde.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
You
Obviously,
know?
there's just experimental stuff. The movie's the same.
Look, we have like $20. We need to finish this show. What I got?
I mean, yeah, sure, that works. Oh yeah. Stomania did also for the exhibition of Ghost in the Shell a new drawing for it. Let me see, Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell Expo. Let me see real quick.
Man, it's like a lot of people are saying that this new anime is gonna be closer to the comics. And it's weird that as popular as Ghost in the Shell is, and as many adaptations as it has gotten, none of them have ever really been like the comics. The comics are actually kind of funny and jokey.
Yeah, they hope that it's gonna be more like the manga and not just, you know. Yay.
There was the Masamune Shiro Expo recently, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like there's a new
Koenji Shone
shirt
went there
that
and did a video,
EA
I
made
think.
for it.
The video is
Somebody
out,
did
I
that.
think.
Who did it? Who did it, Koma?
Japan Book Hunter. He went to the exhibition for
Oh yeah, a
Masamune.
guy I knew on Discord was also going today to it and wanted to buy a shirt, this shirt of EA did for Ghost in the Shell
Oh
when she
shit!
turns
Sick.
invisible. But it was sold out, sadly, and then there were just only postcards, so that's real sadness. Eh. And I saw online they were already 70 euros, 80 euros, so like, you know. But hey, I do be liking this image. It's like, you know, thanks to all the dark that's all the shadow that's backs and it works way better. I mean, imagine if it was just in a Posthumous style, then it would just be like too white. It just doesn't really want to work. But you know.
But that's a cool drawing though. I thought it was Oshi's art. Now I could see now I could see
Oh yeah.
Negan.
Hiro also said that in a afterwards of his manga that he's been publishing, that he has nothing to do with the new anime that Science Saru is making of Ghost in the Shell. He isn't working on it, basically.
Right. Well,
So,
I
yeah.
mean, at this point, you know, he's more of a he's kind of doing his own thing. I feel like
Yeah,
I don't
more
know.
horny stuff the majority of the time nowadays.
But are his books still selling?
I guess, yeah, but it's majority just the stuff from the 80s that's really doing it. Like, you know, the majority of his of like anime projects or manga projects is all Ghost in the Shell stuff or like, you know, Appleseed, that kind of stuff. It's all stuff from like his early period, basically. All this stuff is nowadays it's like, yeah, nobody is really interested in it. It kind of sells, but you know, nobody really cares. Oh man.
Or in gaming news, the Oblivion remaster just came out without a huge amount of fanfare. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Oh, Oblivion. Yeah. No. Those are a lot of online fans as all of it. Just you know, seeing how old Gaines face is new. Yeah, I've seen them also too. Damn,
So,
apples to apples.
are any of you guys interested in that, or you had enough Oblivion? I actually kind of wish they remastered Morrowind.
I'm more interested in what was the name? Now I have a lapsus. Fallout. Is also from Bethesda, right?
Oh,
Right.
Fallout. Oh, the Fallout
Fallout, yeah.
series. I don't know. Isn't
So,
it
do
also
you
being overused at this point?
You do not like it?
I mean, sure. I mean, sure. It's a thing, but it's not really my thing, honestly. Maybe the
So
earlier
you do
works.
prefer the Elder Scroll?
Well, I haven't played that either, but you know, you see so much of one medium, and you're just like not that interested in it anymore. At some point.
The first one that I played was Morrowind. That was also the first. It was really influential for me, because it was the first open world game. That was like the first thing I had after Sega Genesis. So you could imagine the jump, you know. computer after Sega Genesis being the only thing you're exposed to is quite a jump. So, and it really was. I think it does a lot of things better than some of the newer games. Like it's really an alien feeling world, if that makes sense. It's like because it's not like Skyrim and it's not like Oblivion. This is really a different kind of world. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Koma. You're familiar at all with Morrowind?
I haven't played the original one, so I don't know. I mean, actually, I haven't played any Elder Scroll game, but this one is, as far as I know, just they redid it with another engine, I believe. The graphic is, of course, modern now, but the game it's exactly as it was in the mid 2000, I think.
Right. How I heard it described was it's the old engine running underneath for the interactions and stuff, but the graphics are Unreal now. Unreal Engine. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is how I heard it described. So the old engine is still there beneath. I don't know if you're familiar with the Halo remakes, the Halo remasters, but they kind of did that too, so much that you actually had a button where you could toggle the old and the new versions of Halo. So the old visuals and the new visuals, which was kind of interesting. And I've seen that with a couple games, like where we have the old graphics running underneath, and we have the new graphics that we have overlaid on it. So it's supposed to feel exactly the same in terms of gameplay, but you know, with the new facelift, which I think is interesting. It's like interesting. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how far we've come, because imagine the games, the systems now so powerful, they're running two instances of the game. They're running the old and the new, like side by side. You know? Yeah, but what if anything you're actually playing right now, Koma? And Mars?
Nothing new,
right
really.
now.
Mostly watching, not really.
Today I started, I installed X2 The Threat. It's a very old game. It's a space simulator. But actually, I would like to get the newest entry on the series, X4 Foundation. I need to find a deal for it, maybe on GOG when it goes on sale, because I would like to get it on GOG. It's of course you basically manage a fleet. You build your fleet, your space fleet, your space station, and you can also battle and capture other ships and do stuff. It's complicated to explain. It's one of those sandbox games. It has been around since the late 90s, I think, the first one. And I started with the second entry, which is the one that I installed, and I also played X3. And now I would like to get into X4 because it's awesome. Even if you look at it, the graphics are very good, even if it's not as new as other games.
A couple questions. The X4 was made when?
Yes, it was made in a couple of years ago, I believe. It came out. Let me find out when it was released, because I don't keep track of it.
2018 is relatively
2018, apparently.
Yeah. Relatively recent then, okay.
Yes, it's fairly recent.
Okay. That is interesting. You mentioned that how it is a long running series because believe it or not, there's a game on Sega Genesis that it seems to have a lot of similarities with that. It's called Starflight. If you look at it, I think you might see some of the similarities. Like it's amazing to think of the limitations that they were working with at the time. But what they were able to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like imagine what computer was running X1. It was probably like, yeah. Let me look up the minimum requirements for X1. You know, let me see what it was. It was probably. Let me see.
Oh, all right. I mean, if you are interested in spaceships and something like this, a sandbox game, a space simulator, you could try it. The older games are manageable if you want to get into the series and are not expensive either. If it does interest.
It's weird.
Hmm?
It's weird to search for a game called X because you know how easy that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. X classic PC game. Yeah.
Can you find anything, or do you want me to link anything?
No. Yeah, I'll find it. Don't worry. But it's just difficult to search for a game with that name. You know what I mean?
The latest one I played myself was X3 Albion Prelude.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at X2 released in 2003. So now, wow, that's crazy. Ego Software. Oh, that man, the original creator is now defunct. The actual title is X Beyond the Frontier.
Yes,
1999.
I tried to play that game, and the first three games are connected. X, the one that you mentioned, and the second one, and the third, Reunion. I mean, the Terran Conflict and Alien Prelude are not as connected story-wise because you do not have a character like Julian, protagonist of the first, not the second X game, but
Right. So they have like a trilogy arc, and then they started a new.
Yeah, maybe we could. Yes, because
series.
the first game, X1, Beyond the Frontier, basically it's about the story about these. You start on the Earth, like there is this test. They are trying to test this new spacecraft, and something goes wrong, and the pilot and the ship travel through space and end up in another sector of the universe, and basically they find another ship, an alien ship, and they ended up on their sector, and they start the game from there. They get explanations how to get credits, trade goods, and fix and all the missions that you have to do in order to fix the ship. And then also there are enemies like the Xenon, but I don't want to spoil anything. It's
Right.
interesting. The lore itself is interesting because it's about humanity the colonization of outer space and um, how they trade with other species, even though the Commonwealth is kind of standardized. Even if you go and try to interact with other species that are technically much different from humans, the interaction is close. It's not too deep. Basically, the most you do is manage your ship, travel, trade, fight. You don't have a third person mode where you talk to character. There are a couple of cutscenes on the second game, but there's not much more than that. I would like to try again the first game. I played it years ago, but I never finished. I got stuck and got bored because it was a little limited compared to the games that I played. The success, the game that came after. I don't know. I mean, even also the hardware. It's one of those games that works better on older hardware, and you need to tinker with your system in order to make it run decently nowadays on a modern computer. I wonder how many people still plays the first X games nowadays.
Well, I think maybe not that far back, right? But I think a lot of people are kind of taking a look at older games, especially since newer games, in a way not as good as like they come out in like a bad state, and they're difficult to run, and these sort of problems. So I think a lot of people getting into retro gaming because of that. If that makes sense. So I think more people might be interested in it now than before. Like, I don't know if you remember when 3D games were now starting to come out for consoles, like there was almost a stigma attached to 2D games. Like they didn't want to bring Castlevania Symphony of the Night to the West because of that, right? I'm sure you know that. So, and imagine those are some of the games that at the top are sales these days. Like all the indie games with limited graphics, they're selling more than anything. It's kind of interesting that is like is acceptable now to put out those things. So and able to make more of them. Like, think of how long it is in between big AAA releases. And if one doesn't work for you, there's a long wait, for the next one.
Yeah.
Like imagine how long it is between from the last Halo and the next one. And if you didn't like the last Halo, well, you're gonna be waiting 10 years or something,
Yeah. Oh well. Other news. I recently found. I only thought at well, the Moomins came out in the 90s. Well, there was also a movie, or well, an hour-long movie for the comet is coming, like a huge comet would hit the Earth. Well, there is also I have that movie in Dutch, in a Dutch dub, but I only thought I had like the second half of the movie on DVD. I recorded it from VHS to DVD, but I also only could find like one DVD of it. Well, about yesterday I found the rest of the movie. So I was like really pleased with that. So I have now the complete thing. So I can put it now on archive or on YouTube. Basically, so
this is your channel here on Daily Motion, or
no. There's just a trailer I found of it. But yeah, and like the movie is not in Dutch. It's like it never came out on DVD, never came out on VHS. It just showed on TV in Dutch, and that's it. Like all the other languages are probably on DVD or VHS somewhere. Well, because they are on YouTube, or people recorded them and then put them on YouTube. But yeah, the Dutch version is nowhere online. So I'm like, Well, I have it now. Not the best
That's
audio,
crazy.
might I say, but you know, it's at
So wait,
least something.
the audio for this, well, where did it originate? Who did is this is the
Well,
audio
the Japanese, because the
originate?
Japanese made the anime. It's like a joint project between different countries, but the
And the
animation
dub,
is from Japan.
so it's a Dutch property, it's a Dutch IP, but animated in Japan.
No, it's like a joint project. So the Dutch, Sweden, Finland, Japan. It's like a joint project between different countries. So it's not the whole. Uh, yeah, it's not one country basically that just made the whole thing. Just the Dutch have also made an IP on it and helped with it, but we didn't make the whole thing basically. But yeah,
Okay, so the books were originally from which country? The books
Finland
that it,
from Tove Jansson.
Finland, they said.
Yeah,
Okay, right. No,
this
that's
is
not.
the
Well, that is really what I was asking. I was asking whose character is it? Then? Is what I was asking. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that
And like yeah, and there's been different versions of the movements, so like in the 60s, 70s, like and now recently also, well, recent Askley, a version of it. There was like a version of Puppets, a version 2D also from Japan, but it was like nothing like the original stories, and Tove Jansson hated the anime. In fact, he didn't like it at all because it was just completely different from what originally should be. And well, then you got the 90s version, and it was uh, pretty
did he
liked,
like
and
that one?
Hmm?
Did he like any of the others?
Yeah, she liked that one. Yeah, because it was like
Oh,
accurate
she okay.
to the stories, and the style was like accurate to original books as far as it goes. And plus, the movie has some really nice backgrounds, some nice animation. While like majority with like the environment, so that's pretty nice stuff. Like the dialogue is not the right home about because that's pretty corny because it was for little kids. So like that's not that great. It also has original songs made for it, also corny, but it's for kids, so I can just think it's a bit more nostalgic than anything else. But hey, so we'll probably post that on the archive in YouTube if the YouTube gods don't smite me down for like copyrighted material. But I don't know. All the other versions are up there and they haven't been nuked off the site. So, eh, maybe not. Well, I will try and
It might
see.
be a case of where um like a voice actor among them is particularly annoying. So like he's like, I don't want anybody to know that I voiced it, you know, 50
Yeah,
years
but
ago.
I think it's more the songs that gonna get me in hot water or something like that. It's like with a lot of anime. An anime or an episode, the show itself, like nobody has like the rights for an anime, but they have for the music. So anime can just be yeeted off the side because of just the copyright of a song, for instance. That's the only thing that's copyrighted in the show itself. It's like in gray water, so nobody has an idea where the rights for it are or who has them or even if
Right.
they even exist, for instance.
So it's funny to imagine that an entire movie is okay except for the part where they're singing. You know, like
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
less.
it'd be like that. Maybe for the whole movie it's gonna be a thing, but because it's a bigger, more budgetary project, well, it's like an hour long, so it's not like, or maybe a bit longer than an hour, but you know, uh,
So
how
that I
long
guess
is
that means that the musicians have much better representation and protection than all the other artists that make the whole show. You know, it's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, it's like an hour and 9 minutes long, so yeah, it's like under 2 hours, far under 1.5 hours. So yeah, it's not too long, but I don't know, it's pretty nice
And it looks like a
animation.
cool.
news wise.
It looks like a good show to watch if you're a calming show then, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's good. It's pretty calming.
even though
Yeah.
are they facing like a cosmic threat of a big comet?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you see constantly the comments getting closer and closer and closer. The first in the beginning, they need to go to an observatory in the Lonely Mountains, as it's called, and then ask like when the comet is coming, what it precisely is, and then they go back and have all shenanigans and meeting new people that you see throughout the series, etc., etc. And yeah,
Damn,
and like last time,
that's
like
actually,
all the. Hmm?
I just saying it's actually kind of crazy because those are some huge stakes, you know, a comet smashing into the planet, but it's also coming, you know. It's like, yeah, is it coming apocalypse? It's like YKK.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Like you see, even the sea just residing, just the whole sea just disappears, and you just see this whole wasteland or this whole alien
Wow,
wasteland just
that's
seeing
crazy.
before you, and then coming around the ship, and the ship is full of water, and there's an octopus in the ship, and it tries to kill the main characters and that kind of
Nice.
weird shit, or
That,
flesh eating plants, huge flesh eating plants, or like a monster that just protects gems in old volcano and that kind of stuff. It's like all kinds of stuff. It's not
I
as
like that.
crazy as like anime could be, but you know,
I like that. This is what passes for children's entertainment in Europe. You know, uh, a world-ending
in
apocalypse
Japan.
for the whole family. Yeah. Well, Japan is crazy, so we don't even know what's
Yeah,
happening yet. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, you know.
that's a whole. You know, look, Japan is Japanese. You know, that is their own thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, nice.
So, but since then it was never been on TV again, or like I don't know if it ever has been on TV ever since. I don't know. Wait,
So,
maybe
let
in
me ask
here.
this then.
Hmm?
How do you think? Let me ask this. How you think they got that? What? Because I'm wondering if they took an old VHS recording and put the dub over the good.
No,
Um.
no, it was originally done in the cinema, and then later on they put the show that probably on TV later on, or maybe it was a TV movie. Who knows? Well, I don't really know that much about it. I know it was before that was a book, and then became the movie, or well, different iterations of it. But 1992 version is one, and then it came on TV here in the Netherlands, like in the early 2000s, and that was it for
All
that.
right, right.
It's kind of weird
So
though because it's so popular.
what I'm asking though is this: the person who got the dub, the person who put up the dub, where did they get that dub? Is that an ancient VHS recording that they had? You know, that is what I'm asking. Uh,
Oh no, that's like it's the same dub as they used for the series, so it's like in coexisting with each other. So like everything was made in the 90s, and then a few episodes of the series, like 12 episodes of the series, came out in the Netherlands in Dutch on DVD. The movie never really came out. It's probably just as a TV movie came out here in the 90s. I really just waited for TV and never came in cinema here in Netherlands. Maybe except for Japan because Japan. And then
so,
later on, it got rerun on TV in the early 2000s, just as a TV movie
right,
basically.
right. So what I'm saying is, it has to be an old recording that they have, because if that
Yeah,
is the
I
only,
guess somewhere, but I don't know what happened to the rights because it's just not anywhere whatsoever. So it's just like, you know, apparently the original work was made in the 40s, like a year of the war. So like, it's a pretty old story, honestly. It's like the English translation was posted in 1951. and then later in the 60s. And yeah, it runs for like a good 80 years or something like that altogether.
Well,
Yeah,
so
here,
is that
other versions. Let me see. The novel is adapted into animation several times, including 1987, Movie Troll, 1992, and that's the Japanese version. Full version, 12 episodes of stop motion animated TV series, and then 2010 we got another version of it. So there's multiple. Here, yeah. With the Comment in Moonland is a Dutch-Japanese animation film by Telecable Benelux. So yeah, it's a Dutch Japanese joint production, so that's why we have a dub of it in the first place. I
right? But
helped with it, but
the takeaway from this is to store as much stuff as you could, record everything and stash it away because you never know when your copy will be the last copy in existence,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, oh yeah. Here it says it was released in Japan first Tiaret in theaters in '92 as a triple feature with two unrelated shorter films and was later released on home video with 10 minutes of extra footage. So on home video in Japan basically, and on later on DVD in Japan. So only Japan really got the DVD of VHS treatment, and then later on, same time we got the Dutch edition, but it never showed up anywhere for some reason. I don't know, maybe it didn't sell that well here around. So yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
when you
here
look at that, when you look at that
in
kind of art style, you think more of a European than Japanese anime. You know what I mean?
yeah. It has an European style to it because made in Europe. But apparently, here in 2020, the film was planned to be re-released there, in theater to conclude it with a 75 anniversary of the Moomin franchise. This version of the film is remastered in 4K and includes a reworked soundtrack and new recorded voice acting. The film's re-release was halted indefinitely as a result of COVID-19, with it eventually being released in summer of 2023. Oh, didn't know that. The film's streaming and television rights have been acquired by C More and MTV. And it's COVID that's put a wrench into it. But it was released in 2023. It's like in 4K and just all remastered in English, obviously, not in Dutch. So, yeah, I don't
Right.
know. That's.
So what I'm saying, we need to take that dub that you have and put it over the new 4K release. So we could add it as an audio track in VLC or something like that. Then we'll have the best
Yeah.
of both worlds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I guess. Mine copy is not. Well, visually, it's is a good copy of, but audio wise, it's not that great because VHS, but.
Right. Which is what I'm saying. That is how I think that guy made that rip that he uploaded. He took the old audio that he had from a VHS or whatever, and he put it to a newer version of the movie, the video,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but then the audio really needs to be fixed around because it has a lot of distortion in it.
All right,
So
you're talking about a 50-year-old tape, So
yeah,
it's kind of amazing.
the
Amazing he has
VHS
this
distortion that's really on there audio wise, so that needs a lot of cleaning to be really on a new version, or else it's just really old audio on a really new movie version, and it looks just it doesn't really mix all that too well. So you need the original audio from back in the day, and then cleaned up as much as possible, and then put that together. But
Yeah,
I don't know if they did that. They probably did some version of like you know they just did the English version or maybe the Japanese in there too, and that's it. Because it was also released with with an English version, and also other countries have also done dubs, and that's already online. But it's like maybe I can find it. 2023. comedy in the Moominlands movie. Let me see. Find that.
But yeah, after remember, I've always been trying to find more common things after Mushishi and after YKK. So I think this might be another good one.
Yeah, it is. It's like it has a bit more adventure to it, but it's not no over the top.
Right. Oh, by the way, it's political season here in Trinidad. So I don't know if you're hearing a lot of noise. But that's why.
I heard a bit of static going on. Yeah.
Oh no, not static. I mean, so you're not hearing a lot of loud music going down the road, right?
Oh yeah, maybe a bit. Yeah.
Okay,
through the static, I don't really hear anything.
Right. Yeah. So that is a thing that. But here's a pro tip though. If your political party is playing a lot of loud music and confusing man and so on, are less likely to vote for them, right? So yeah, I don't know how it is by you guys. I hope it's not as bad as it is here.
Political wise, no. We had King's Day though yesterday, so that was the whole fest for the king's birthday, basically. Well, that's today actually, but yeah, it works well enough for that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, if you're a king, you could say any day is your birthday,
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. It's just a big holiday, basically. With just have free markets, you can sell anything on the streets, and you can start drinking, eating, fireworks, all that kind of stuff, and wearing a lot of orange, obviously, because it's the Netherlands. So yeah.
Wait, is orange you guys' national color, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Basically, it's been used since the beginning of the Netherlands as like an universal color that we're using, like for our football clubs when the big the WK comes every 4 years. Then all kinds of teams, all kinds of clubs putting together, and then they're all going in orange, and the whole country goes in orange, hoping that we win, but we don't, and then we cry and drink ourselves to death and that kind of stuff. So, well, also a thing to do.
That's made in paradise,
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be drunk anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they're doing. But...
Right. So we have but listen, now we have an excuse, okay?
Sure.
Now we have a proper excuse to get drunk. All right. What are you? Not Netherlands? That is interesting. I'm not sure. I think probably Trinidad color is probably red. Because it's red, white, and black on the flag. So maybe Trinidad is red.
Yeah. Kindernet TV. That's Dutch though, so I wonder. If it's even a Dutch release at all. I don't know. Maybe not. Kindernet Entertainment. Yeah, Kindernet Entertainment is Dutch, so it should be. But I think it is. But let me see.
Comet in Moominland. I like that I keep the word land. Is the word land still the same?
Yeah, Moominland. Yeah, it's the same thing in Dutch. It doesn't really change anything, honestly.
So all right, so like Because I was looking at that show yesterday, and I know like how sometimes people just drop an English word, even if they're speaking some other language. Like they do that a lot in Indian movies, you know. Like people will just be talking, you know, gobbledygook, and then suddenly, thank you very much. A whole English phrase, a whole English sentence.
Yeah. Just because it's popular, and don't just put it in just for the fun of it, and there's no real reason why they do
No,
it. Honestly.
I am not sure. I wonder if like those phrases are used in India and so on too. You know, I was watching some other. I think Dutch self. It might have been Dutch too. And like every now and then they would just drop a whole sentence. You know, a whole sentence. Not you know, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. People do that, I guess, for some reason, but you know.
So like walking around the place, like how much, what percentage Dutch and percentage English do you hear? Daily?
Well, in Amsterdam we have a lot of tourists, so you also hear like in the center a lot of English, but the majority is just Dutch or maybe immigrants like Arabic sometimes. And obviously with the war, a lot of Ukrainian nowadays. So yeah, but the majority is still Dutch. Obviously, it's like you know. But we all
Okay.
can just do Dutch and English because we have it standard in school. That's not the same for Italy or Germany or France or like any countries. But England can only do English, so you know. It's just how the you know the system works in here.
Right. So people, almost everybody is like multilingual. You know, like they
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
both.
majority of the time, yeah. Like everybody has
All
its
right.
like close to the borders to learn more German, for instance, so they
Ah,
change in their country better, and then just and so forth,
like
basically. And Belgium is the same. It's just like half of Belgium is like France, and the upper part of Belgium towards the Dutch border is like all Dutch, basically, but just with an accent or different versions of it. And they have Frisian, that's also its own language. And then you have, yeah, just all
now
kinds of different versions.
I imagine that for you guys, in a way, it's not so much learning a different language. It's just this is just another word to say the same thing. Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's all words, you know.
Sometimes it sounds like each other, and sometimes just, you
Yeah,
know,
like
that's the same thing.
we here in Trinidad, you know, you guys multilingual. We here are barely like unilingual, you know. So it's impressive
Mm.
to see essentially so basically nearly everyone in that country speaks at least some of another language, if not everybody. For you guys, is that true? Everybody speaks that second
We
language.
have different accents. Well, we have different iterations of Dutch, I guess. It's the same language, but there's just different
You mean
accents
dialects?
to it.
You are talking about
Dialects, yeah,
dialects.
we have just different dialects, basically. Like in more like in the south, it's like also like different sections have its own different versions of it. Like if you go more to the bottom of the Netherlands, like way in the bottom, you get more like in Maastricht. It's also a city that just they like the older generation speaks of versions of like Belgium, oh no, Dutch, French, and German, all in the same language. So you hear German in it, you hear French in it, you hear Dutch in it, just all in one sentence, for instance, that kind of stuff. You just all
That's
there's all kinds of different dialects. It's not like India. There's just the dialect. Just every city has its dialect, and people can't understand each other. Or it needs to be really heavy, but you know that's only so much of it is really that deep. But you know,
well, you know, like in Trinidad. Trinidad has the other island Tobago, and even they sound different. Uh, but it's the same country, you know. So, and like I've heard that a friend from Jamaica told me that yeah, Jamaica is one piece of rock, you know, but it has people that sound different and they know where you're from. And you know, you see the size of Jamaica compared to you guys. So, you know, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and I'm sure that they charge different prices too. You know, they say, ah, you're a foreigner, so you don't know the prices. So if we charge twice as much,
Yeah, it gets pretty expensive here sometimes. Netherlands is a bit more expensive than like, in Spain, for instance, or like sometimes in Germany or etc. 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 So, or maybe for like small villages or like small points on the map that's a bit more cheaper. Like manga, for instance, like in the holidays, I bought a One Punch Man volumes for like €13, and here in Amsterdam it's like 15.99. So prices inflict on like how far you're into the country, or like how far you are from the main city, basically.
right? But part of the problem with that, I believe, is if you're in a more built-up area, you're gonna have higher rent. So you see that here too. So
Yeah,
if you're in a fancy area, you're paying a lot more to just rent the store. So the prices have to be increased to pay for that. I'm sure you see it in malls too. You know, like there will be a mall price. There's a price you pay for buying something in a mall because it costs a lot of money to rent a space in a mall. But the upside is that you get more traffic, right? So I think
yeah.
there's something like that goes on by you guys too. So fancy area, city area, city rent. So yeah, we charging
Mm-hmm.
twice as much for the same thing or whatever. Like that is why like
Yeah,
a lot of businesses, a lot of physical businesses struggling because their business model was based on people willing to pay so much money for something that purchased in a mall, because people used to like the mall experience. But after COVID, they because there wasn't any that traffic, they no longer have that kind of exaggerated income. Then, like people would literally buy something for $5 and sell it for 200 TT. It's crazy, So like, yeah, they can't count on that business anymore, because a lot of people ordering the stuff now too. That's the next thing. Like like manga, for example, they would never reduce the price of a manga here in Trinidad, or electronics or anything. Like a while back, it was many years ago, but it was still far after its lifespan. I saw like a Sega Saturn game in a store for like $500. That is about 80 US. So it's like, yeah, I would rather keep this thing at the same price than to lower the price to make space in my store. That's kind of madness that goes on here.
Yeah. Import prices and other stuff. Yeah. It's really
a lot of
expensive over time.
people importing their own things these days, which is good. So because they're importing stuff, they don't need to pay these insane markups.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys looking forward to? Did you watch Izoken? Keep your hands off Izoken or something like that?
Dad, yeah, I wanted to still watch that. It's more like childish story to it, so maybe one day. I mean, I did watch
it
Ping
was
Pong in the
entertaining though.
cinema like the week before my vacation. It took like hours to finish through it, but was worth it though.
What was it? I didn't hear
Ping
what you
Pong, the
said.
animation, I saw it in the cinema because we had the festival in Amsterdam. And Ubisa was also there. I even saw him, and also posted a video of his whole masterclass with a whole interview in it, and where people could ask stuff to him on the channel.
Who was it? Sorry.
Masaki Yuasa that made Hands of Asuka.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
ping pong animation or like Mind Game, etc., etc. Devilman
right,
Crybaby.
like I had a hard time getting into his style, but I didn't like it with Devilman, but I did like it in like Tekken King Creek. You know that kind of you know what I mean? The kind of loose
Yeah, but that was
style.
not from him though. Tekken King Creed.
Right, but I mean that is the studio style. That is like you could clearly see. Isn't that the same Studio 4C?
I don't know if it's
What Science Sour? Science Sour did the Tekken King Creed, but USA didn't make Tekken King Creed the movie version, so it's kind of like the same kind of style, same kind of craziness, but not the same. The same director was working on it. Although the maker
didn't
of
he
Tekken
work
King
on
Creed
it?
did work with USA on Ping Pong
Right, yeah.
Animation and Inoue.
That's what I mean. Like there's a lot of artistic overlap there. Like a lot of the animators too. I'm sure they worked on both of them, even if Yuasa didn't direct it.
Yeah. He did work on Inoue. That was like his last project, and he did work on Ping Pong Animation, and but I also saw in the cinema Kick Hard and Walk On Girl. Yeah. Those are pretty
What
nice
are
to see.
those now? What are those?
But not the short walk on girl. It's like an in the same universe as the Tatami Galaxy, basically a movie about a girl
Okay,
that just goes in the nightlife, basically of drinking.
Right. A celebration of alcoholism.
Yeah, basically.
A cinematic celebration of alcoholism. You see, it all ties back to the rum planet I'm talking about. You know.
Yeah,
that
yeah, that would be her planet probably. It's just a whole planet full of
Yeah.
drinking. Yeah.
You know, not people will think that we're judging. No, we're not judging. We're promoting this. We're promoting this.
Promoting drunkenism.
In your very country, aren't they celebrating alcoholism right now?
I mean, yesterday, yeah, well, a lot of drinking, yeah. I like also went to my workplace where they make beer, so I had a couple of beers there and some food, so that was pretty nice.
You're part of it. You're in. You
I mean, I work in it literally, so I'm
nice,
also kind of
perfect.
part of it.
You know, you see, it keeps on coming back to this. It keeps on coming back to you know, this whole thing was. In fact, this whole sequence of events was probably planned by the Romulans. You know, the influencing us even, you know, so far away. You know, God bless them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, like, yeah, like sometimes I think about stuff like that, and I wonder, maybe horoscopes aren't so retarded. You know, it's like, oh, we can't say that no more. Maybe horoscopes aren't so stupid. Maybe there is something to it. Maybe horoscopes are really aliens influencing us, you know. So when they say, oh, you're in this weird planet or system rising or whatever, you know, that is really the aliens shooting some kind of cosmic ray and making people do something, you know.
Yeah. They also made some pictures of the festival, of the Kaboom Animation Festival. That's where it's for. And they also had some They also have experimental animations by different animators all over the country or worlds that they sent in, and also small game section had also this year. So they played some stuff on there, so this was kind of nice.
So wait, the
and also on some pictures, by the way, on their Instagram and Facebook, but you know.
So this is the festival I went and saw the
Yeah.
This is the reason why they were showing it in cinema.
Yeah. Well, it's always in a cinema, except like maybe the first edition that was in a hotel really small screens. That was not that great to watch on, I guess. But it was just the first interaction. This is like in the I Cinema and Museum. It's like a big cultural film thing that we have in Amsterdam. Like a really weird building. Let me see the I Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Uh,
you see, these are the kind of things that we don't really have in this country. Like, there's not a lot of,
no.
especially in rural places. Like where I live, there's nothing like
Yeah, this thing. It's a
community
really weird
centers.
building that we have.
Yeah, like they barely have houses. What is that? Like a PlayStation 5 building?
Yeah, we have some weird buildings sometimes just to modernize
Yeah,
the
look at this
cities.
drive. This drive, you see it? Damn.
This looks like something from a sci-fi series or
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, a spaceship or something that just landed or something like that.
Hey,
Yeah, we also have
know what?
a museum called. We have a nickname for it. The bath. It's like just looks like a giant bathtub, basically. It's also really weird.
Oh, you know why it look like Koma? You know why it look like Koma?
Mhm,
It look like something that we would see in a Sega Saturn game. This is like
mhm.
virtual reality.
or an
real.
alien or something like that.
Yeah, look at that. Look, like the roof is just like a bunch of big triangles and squares. That's crazy. Nice. There is not a lot of earthquakes
Yeah,
by
the
you
inside
guys.
is also pretty weird architecture. It's just in hallways. It's just and becomes smaller and smaller and smaller for some reason.
So wait. So tell me, this area here is reclaimed land or how's
No, this is literally Amsterdam. It's like by the channel, by the A, basically. This is like the big river that goes through Amsterdam and goes into the sea. No, it's
is
more
there a
like
lot of
the more up north. That's reclaimed land by us, basically.
okay? So a, a large part of Amsterdam under the sea level. I mean, this whole
Yeah, the
country
majority
under
is
the sea
on the
level.
sea level. Yeah, it's not that high. Yeah, that's why we call the lowlands the lage landen.
Damn, you guys. Yeah, I need to look at a documentary on how they reclaim all of this because it's crazy.
Yeah,
You guys are crazy.
took us
Like
some
how
time. You had to pump it all out and excavators and just a lot of handwork to get that done. We also had like a whole dam that just has two big arms that you slide into one each other if we have a big storm, which did happen a few years ago. That there was just like
yeah,
code orange or something like that on sea, and then they had to close the thing. But it doesn't happen that much anymore. It happened in like 1953 was the year that my father was born, and like my grandfather actually got a medal for like getting all the dead animals, their farm animals, out of that area, and got a medal
holy
for it.
shit.
So, yeah.
Wait, so he saved them
No, they were
or
dead.
he?
It was just like to prevent sickness, you had to get rid of them. So he helped
Oh,
in that.
okay. Right, they'll just be floating around in the water.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. Damn. That's a
Yeah,
look.
that was like the big disaster that we called.
Look, that's gonna
That
be
nickname.
when this happens again. It's gonna be you need to do that. So you need to get your your skills are like a big rod or something, in order.
Yeah.
That
We also used it in the war, like when the Germans went advanced. Then we just put the holes in our dikes, and then the whole area just flooded with water, and just the Germans couldn't advance anymore. Especially in
damn,
the
that's
First
crazy.
World War. The Second World War, we also did it, but it only did so much, obviously, because we had more planes. So, but still did it though.
And they were ready for it. I mean, they knew they did this once, so they knew it was coming, probably.
Yeah, but it's also difficult to get over it because, it's still water. So you knew it was coming, but you can't do only so much. If you just come in on land or like over the border and like, oh shit, the whole thing is underwater. Well, we can't get over it because we get mowed down by some idiots on the other side, which they did
Ah.
partially, but in the First World
Wait,
War
so-
they didn't really have any planes, so the water really held them back. But we were also neutral, but war is not that clear at all. So, but we were neutral and starving
man,
to death too. But it's a different story.
So explain to me the naming of places again. This whole area is called the Netherlands, right?
Yeah,
This whole
Netherlands, like low land. That's what I mean. Literally.
Okay, so
I Paesi Bassi si chiama. It's the name in Italy.
Yeah. So you have to use it too for getting a package here, which is annoying, which I never remember it.
so wait, this is interesting. So, oh yeah, you know what? I never thought of the name, the Netherlands. That's like a fantasy name. Oh, this is the Netherland.
Yeah,
Is like,
Nederland, like low. You're like you have a king and you're the peasant and you're like bowing to him, and that's kind of like that kind of thing.
Okay, so Netherlands is one country.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We had Belgium at one point in time was like part of us, but then we separated, and then just small parts of Germany on the border were also ours, but then we just gave up that. Yeah, and then we have the Antilles, we have like Saint Martin, Sint Maarten, Curaçao.
all right, now you guys seem like a country that has it all together. Could you
Kinda.
take over Trinidad? All right, could you?
I don't know. We don't have that much together, but
Well,
But
could
yeah,
you-
you
could
said
you
it
put
multiple
me-
times. We need to take you guys over.
Yeah, because we just get and I have to say it every time because you showed me some kind of crazy spaceship future building here, and how half a country is underwater and all this kind of shit, and like they can't even build a road here. They can't build like a regular road.
Yeah, you could
Explode.
use some help from us, yeah, to build some actual roads and some bike lanes and that kind of stuff.
Like, yeah,
We're good
see how
at that,
crazy this is. You know how crazy this is. One of the roads that's lasted the longest, I think it's probably close to 100 years old, was built by the Americans during the war, right?
That makes sense.
Because they would build it good, right? They can't do that here, right? How the hell, and I mean, I'm talking about a road built within our lifetime, or 5 years even, can't last, right? But you guys building shit
It's
on
sad,
the water
yeah.
for, look, we can't do it. We tried, we couldn't do it, all right? This
No,
whole independence
no.
thing, not working out, And you guys
Yeah.
speak English anyway, and we speak something like English. So,
Yeah.
you
At least they understand you, or else you wouldn't be on this. So
yeah, so put in the paperwork, tell them, we'll listen to whatever king you have, and those that don't listen, you could deal with them. You could put them to put their fingers in the dike,
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah. But it's about 15 over almost, so I guess we cut it here.
All right.
And well, that was the podcast after a while, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Talk to you later.
See you later.